device share break.com meeting option. Meeting notes, full screen, have full screen. Turn on. Pattern of incoming video. Turn off incoming. I am turning it on. Oh gosh, I don't want. I don't have full screen. Geez, I don't understand why, but never mind. So instead of just wasting our time, so I'm just gonna do something else. Okay. Berapa orang dekat ni? Okay, we're 23. Anyone else coming in? Is this all of us? Is this all of us? I think there's 31 from our group, right? Yeah, there should be 31. There's 32, 31 lah. But here we've got 24. Okay, so dah berapa dah ni? 27. Because if I'm going to use this one here, I will have to but okay, let's try one other thing. Let's say I nak project something. I want to shine something. Can you see the slides? Hold on. Slides. Can you see the slides? I'm sharing slides. I am now. No, not even slides. Slides what not? Okay. Alamak,
I see your face.
I don't need you to see my face. I need you to see the slide. Hide. PowerPoint. Include computer sound. Desktop. Boleh?
No, doctor.
No. Alamak. Sekejap Apa yang I patut tekan Sekejap Semalam dapat, hari ni tak dapat. Why?
Doktor, you dah share tapi nampak meeting je.
Nampak meeting? Nampak ni lah, this slide. Ni je? Yeah. I mean, I've got my PowerPoint. Like, PowerPoint punya slides. Alamak. Okay. Alamak. Okay. We're gonna do this in a bit, yeah? So, tak apalah. What to do? Macam mana Alah, kacau betul dah. This is technology. Welcome to 21st century. Alah. Hold on. Apa lagi I boleh usik kat sini? What else? Gallery. Large gallery together mode. Together mode. Wow, we've got this together mode. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Can you see you guys are seated in seats?
Yes.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yes,
So I know who's in.
Why is it black for
You need
me?
to show this.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Isn't it? Fun, isn't it? But I need to show the slides. Where are the slides? Hide is not hiding. I'm showing, but why isn't it showing? That's there. It's there. Okay, maybe it's slightly lambat kot. Goodness. Is it there? Can you see it?
No.
Alamak. Tak apalah. Looks like we just have to, you just have to listen to me lah. I'm going to share you the slides later, but not now, yeah? So I'm going to do lecture. So it's already 11:04. Such a waste of time. Instead of waiting, I don't want to waste time. I think everyone needs to move on. I'm sure. So, okay, Ayin, you have to be quiet. Okay. All right. Sorry. If you see that my kids are at the back, so no. Okay. Tengok. So you have to excuse them, yeah? This is reality. Okay. May, come. Okay. So today, so instead of having a proper, you have to go sit down. Duduk bawah. Okay, 0. Okay, dah. Okay, all right. All right. Okay, so this is reality. I cannot do anything about reality. I cannot shove them because they want to join me. So have to use technology also to distract them. So today, Ali, no. Quiet. All right. So today we'll be talking about national policy and how it incorporates the teaching of literature in ESL classrooms. So I'm so sorry about this hiccup. The technology should allow me to share with you the slides, but I will do it in a bit. Yeah. So while we do this, I like someone to dictate what I'm actually lecturing. Yeah, my eldest. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. So okay. Sit down. Dah duduk. Okay, come. Bagi mak. Yes, duduk. All right. Thank you. So actually, if we were to trace the development, the progress of how English literature is incorporated in ESL classroom, you have to understand the history of it and how it's somehow like is a play of tug of war. Sometimes it's in, and then certain programs is initiated and then it is stopped, and then later it is turned into something obligatory and examined. But later, as what you know now, is not examined. Yeah, so there's no assessment for literature in SPM. Yeah, but it's just a method of engaging reading habits. Yeah, so the students are still reading literature as part of the English classes. Yeah, so the beginning part of this lecture will speak about the history and how it is incorporated into the national policy. So I will have to run through the history itself. Yeah. So initially, why include the teaching of literature in the education system? Why? Or in the teaching of ESL? It's basically, if you look at the pink book, yeah, any of the pink book, yeah, the pink book, yeah, you should be familiar with this or this, yeah. Have you seen it before? The SKP, our KSSM.
No.
Have you heard of KSSM before?
Yes.
Yes.
What does KSSM stand for? KSSM stands for, pandang atas, pandang langit. I can see what you guys are doing. What does KSSM stand for? Or what does it replace?
I think Dr. is
Kurikulum standard sekolah menengah.
Apa dia?
It's a new
Kurikulum standard
It is a new
sekolah menengah.
curriculum, yes, but what does it replace?
the KBSM.
The
KPSM,
KPSM.
betul. Yes. I'm also part of the apalah. Hello. Yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
so mana yang lain? How come I don't see other people? So I need to see the rest of the class, you know. So kalau tidak, I'm just gonna give marks to these people who show their faces here. Yang lain tu cuma spectator je. You have to show. Kejap je. At least sampai 11:15. Ya. Kalau tidak, apa ni? Yes. Okay, duduk. Promise? Dah duduk. Okay. Alright. So, KSSM stands for Curriculum Standard Sekolah Menengah. Or kalau sekolah rendah, KSSR lah. Curriculum Standard Sekolah Rendah. Yeah. So, by right, you should be familiar with all this. Yeah. So, you've got, of course, you've got the DSKP, or known as the Standard Base Curriculum for Secondary School or Primary School. So, these are your reading things, because this, mind you, will help you not only for this class, but for other classes as well. Sebab nanti when you do the teaching of reading, the teaching of listening, the teaching of writing, semua ada dalam ni. Have you been told? Hello?
Yes.
Have you been told?
Yes.
Kalau you have, so do not wait any longer. Yeah, so get copies of the KSSM, DSKP, semuanya ada dekat the internet. So make yourself resourceful. Yeah, right? So other than that, okay, so according to KSSM, curriculum standard, yeah, standard curriculum for primary school, standard curriculum for secondary school. So based on this, it will say that the philosophy will say that we aim at developing individuals who are intellectually, spiritually, and physically enriched. So what we aimed at developing are school students who eventually become individuals like you, like me, but of course I'm not in anymore. So to become the end product, to become a person of holistic attributes. Yeah, not only they are clever, but they are physically healthy, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, of course. Yeah, because if you look at Rukun Negara, okay, very quickly, tell me, what are the 5 components of the Rukun Negara? Don't angguk-angguk.
Kepercayaan kepada Tuhan. Am I right?
Yes.
Kepercayaan kepada Tuhan.
Kepercayaan kepada raja dan negara.
Kepada raja dan negara, keluhuran kebangsaan, kedaulatan undang-undang, keamanan dan kesusilaan.
So part of the Rukun Negara says that you should be in the belief of God. So be whatever God it is, Allah ke Jesus ke Buddha ke Hindu ke, there is this founding pillar that you believe in a greater entity, a greater being that helps you get through life spiritually. All right. So with that aim, okay, so the education MOE, yeah, have devised it to shape individuals who are holistic. Dia bukan pandai je, but spiritually developed, physically developed. Maksudnya, kena why you want to ask why we need Malaysian citizens to be physically fit. Why we don't want to be we don't want to be wasting on tax for health problems. So tu yang we tell our students to go and exercise. Okay, so I'm already seeing hold on before just one more time so I can get a picture of you. So hold on, one more time. Okay, is everyone in? Kejap masuk, kejap keluar, kejap tunduk, kejap whatever. Are you in? Right, so these are for today's class. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I already gotten your attendance. I mean your picture. Let me download your attendance. Okay, sebab nanti bila dah habis tu attendance tu hilang. Tak boleh. I just don't understand why. Then problem tu nanti. Problem for attendance. Alah. Wonder why. It could either be because of the internet. All right, anyway. Okay, so like what I've said, why do we have to get individuals who are physically healthy as well? Because again, we want to have functional working individuals, you know, who are going to serve Malaysia, the country. Yeah, instead of wasting over, you know, sakit or whatever. That's why we encourage people to go to go for a run whatsoever. Yeah, so this is the very basis of the national philosophy, national education philosophy. Yeah, so because of that, yeah, one of the channels of making this as the end product, so they have incorporated the literature, yeah, component as part of the English program, as in the integrated curriculum for secondary school. So KBSM was the old one, yeah. So initially it was the old one, yeah. So it was basically developed in order to provide an understanding so people can understand. I mean, these people referring to small little man and little woman. Who do I mean by little man and little woman? Your students, be it primary school, secondary school. So they have this, it is through literature that we can inculcate an understanding and an awareness for human values. Okay, so when we talk about human values, can you slow down a bit there? Adik, slow down sikit. Perlahan sikit. Slow down. Can you? Mak nak cakap. Slow down. Ah. Slow down. Slow down. Adik, please. Okay, so when we talk about human values, so what is value? Yeah, can anyone name me values? What do you understand from values?
A good moral.
Yeah, good moral. Lagi? Fatin Jasni, what do you think value is? Fatin, are you there or just, you know? Can you just raise your hand to show if you're here?
Value is yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I can see you. Yes. What is value? What do you understand from value? Or the bahasa word for value is?
Nilai murni.
Nilai. So in this case, you mentioned core value, yeah, nilai murni, yeah. So when we talk about values like respectful to others, apa lagi? What other values can you mention?
Empathy, sympathy.
Empathy, yes, being able to empathize with other people makes another person's life a lot easier. When you're able to understand, ya Allah, kesiannya madam ni, dia kena buat kelas, dia kena manage the kids, then you empathize, yeah. Or ya Allah, kesiannya orang ni, dia nak makan tapi tak ada duit, so what can I do? So hence empathizing, which is, you know, like, it's a big challenge, especially during the PKP. Are you guys following Syed Azmi on his Facebook? Are you familiar with Syed Azmi? Have you heard of him before? Okay, nanti balik ni, you go and Google Facebook. You look at your Facebook. Kalau tak ada pun, you just type who is Syed Azmi, SYEDAZMI. So he's basically an activist. He's an NGO helping, the gelandangan, homeless people, you know, or people of the underprivileged, you know. So, you know, you can say, why is the government doing this, whatsoever. Sometimes you can't put everything on the government's shoulder, you know. Sometimes, you know, us, the others, the Malaysians can also help at trying to ease another person's hardship. So anyway, back to it. So we were talking about why use literature. So literature has that ability of creating or giving understanding, creating awareness and sensitivity over human values. So if we're going to be so selfish with ourselves, we tend to forget those who are at need. So not only it will open our eyes, literature will open our eyes to human values and human issues. Yeah, it somehow provide that sensitive element. Now, I'll bring you to another issue. Are you familiar with socio emotion? Emotion. Pernah tak dengar about the issue of social emotion? Now, this is very much a concern of the more developed countries. Yeah, so if you Google, kalau Google, you will find that there's a loop, there's a gap within the study of socio-emotional issue. Apparently, you can only do that if let's say that kalau you tengok especially dekat preschool, there's a gap in it, not many. Request control, siapa nak request control ni? Someone request control. Takutnya, am I being hacked?
Saya tertekan ke? Oh my god.
Oh wow, oh my god. You're funny.
Saya ke? Oh my god, I don't know how to.
Alright.
Sebab
Ha.
soalan saya dulu, so macam ada masalah sikit. Dia macam lekat-lekat.
Oh, okay. Tiba-tiba keluar logat utara. Wow, I love it. Okay, hold on. Okay, I've been hacked. Request control, no. Denied. Okay.
Denied.
Okay. So I'm denying you, eh? Sampai je lah. Anyway, what was I saying just now? Jap. I kena balik to my screen. So this is why they included literature. So literature is able to create awareness of creating sensitivity among its younger citizens. Yeah. So we want that. We want future Malaysians to be sensitive with other people's plight. Dia punya kesusahan. Because while there are the more privileged people, there are those who are underprivileged, and life is not always on top. Sometimes it turns. Yeah. So we need to be empathetic, and of course there are other values. So that's another thing that you should also find out. Okay, so this is just for an assignment. Okay, so I will not hit until 1 o'clock, but I will hit until 12 o'clock. Yeah. So at 12, you will Google Malaysian core values. You will find out what are the Malaysian core values. So that's your first task for the day. So you need to submit that by 1 o'clock. Yeah. Submitting that will give you, a flagship. Yeah. So I will give you a badge if you submit that. Right. So faham what I'm asking you to do? Yeah. So by 11, so I will dismiss you at 12. By 1 o'clock, you will submit me a list of Malaysian core values. All right, so that's one. Okay, moving on. Are you good? Can you follow me so far, even without the slides? Boleh tak?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Just as a brainstorming activity, I just like to ask everyone, why do you think there's such a need to raise awareness or sensitivity? So I'm going to create a note here. So where is my note? Okay. Can you see the note? Okay. Oh, it's coming. Internet line semua okay tak? Okay, here it is. Okay. Malaysian core value. Malaysian core values. All right, that's one. Okay. So another one is why is there a need to create awareness and sensitivity of human values and issues. Now, this is another question that I like to you can do this in group. Yeah, both notes that I've just shared with you over at the stream, you can do this as a group. So if you want to work alone, you can do so. Okay, otherwise you can gang up and do this activity. All right, moving on. Okay, now the second.
I can see the note. I cannot see the notes.
You can go to your stream. Are you in the stream? Are you familiar with stream? Are you familiar with have you downloaded the Microsoft Team?
Yes.
Yes, so we are in GV1063. Okay, so so macam Nurul Ain is in, Nurul Mashita is in, Shazrina is in, Alia is in. So if you're not in, hold on, get link to the channel. Okay, copy. Let me go to the Google, to the WhatsApp and share this in the group. Okay, this is for notes or whatsoever. So we are in that. That's a Microsoft Team channel for this class. All right, coming back. Okay, the next part of the lecture requested baru nak masuk. Okay, accept all. No, accept. Okay, Akmal just entered. Okay, bagus. Thank you, Akmal. So the second part of the lecture is to talk about the history, how it all started, how the teaching of literature started in Malaysia. So it originated as early as 1979, 1979. Okay, that's 4 years after my birth. Yeah, I'm that old. So anyway, in 1979, the MOE, Ministry of Education, introduced this one program. It's called the English Language Reader Program. In short, ELRP, English Language Reader Program. So this was initiated in the secondary school. So they didn't start off with the primary. So eventually it did. Yeah. So it was only then. It was later, after some time, then it was then moved to primary school, starting with primary 4. So it was not incorporated as a whole. Only the upper level in the primary school privileged the program. Yeah, so they were known as the junior ELRP. Yeah, so for the secondary students, it was just ELRP. So again, some of the intentions of why this was created in the English language teaching syllabus was mainly to instill reading habits. In fact, it is still a problem up till today. So if you have the time, you can find out what's the reading patterns among Malaysians. That could be an interesting research topic as well. Yeah, hold on, ada yang request pending. Dah masuk dah kan? Someone requested just now, requested to enter the group. I think I allowed it. So anyway, I'm going to continue. So instilling habits, reading habits, as well as widening general knowledge. So you can Google Mukundan, Mukundan ETAL 1998. By the way, are you familiar with Google Scholar, by the way? Has anyone ever tried Google Scholar among you guys?
Yes.
So at the search column tu, cuba type this name, Mukundan, 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 Mukundan ETAL. He's actually a professor. Now he's retired, but previously he was affiliated with UPM. So he's among those who studied on literacy. Yeah, when we talk about literacy, we're talking about reading habits. So kalau mathematics is referred to as numeracy, yeah, pengiraan. So just to test you guys, are you familiar with the 4M, 4M? What are the 4M? What are the 4M? This program starts as early as preschool. Now, this is part of the Malaysian education system.
Baca, menulis, mengira.
What's the last M? Have you heard of mendengar? No. Yang tu 4 skills in English. 4M as part of the Malaysian education education system is to produce individuals who are able to do this 4M: membaca, menulis, mengira. M, the last M is menakul. Menakul, ya. That's the term, menakul, takul. Menakul. Menakul ni means to
Reasoning.
rationalize.
Oh, rationing.
So by the end, at least in primary school, they are able to rationalize. If let's say that, oh, I nak buat ni, is this good or is this bad? So that's logic. Yeah. So yang tu pun is one of the things that, one of the things that is hoped that an individual is able to do. They should be able to read, hence literacy. They should be able to count or to write. Writing lah. They should be able to count, mengira, hence numeracy, as well as menakul, to rationalize. Why take ESL? Why do teaching? So you should be able to rationalize over your choices. Betul? Or it's just orang kata ni je yang ada, madam. Oh, please, if you're gonna use that reason, you have failed on menakul. You understand what I'm trying to say? Kenapa you nak buat teaching of ESL? Kenapa tak teaching of maths? Kenapa tak teaching of physical sciences? I mean, jadi PE teacher ke, jadi arts teacher ke? Why? Have you menakul your choice over joining the TESOL program in UKM? Okay, yang tu, you can go to our UKM folio. Semua orang dah masuk UKM folio? Are you in the UKM folio already? I would love to listen why or your menakul over the choice of joining TESOL program in your blog. There's a blog in the UKM folio. You do that. By 1 o'clock I nak baca. I want to understand who are my students. Kalau tak ada, I know that you've been absent from my class. Faham? Do you understand what's going on? Siapa tak submit the blog by today at 1 o'clock, I know dia tak datang kelas. Dia cuma parking je attendance. Tapi dia tak ada. Okay, so that's also 1 o'clock, yeah. So I'm going to put that in the note just now. Hold on. Sekejap. So you guys dah makan dah? Have you eaten your breakfast at least? Sudah? Siapa tak makan tu yang dah tak boleh menakul ke, faham ke whatever. So please eat breakfast before you come for this class, yeah. Okay, hold on. Where's the note just now? Okay, another one. All right. Blogging on penakulan. Penakulan. So kalau siapa yang attend this lecture, dia akan faham apa ni blogging for penakulan. So dia akan buat. So you know how to go to UKM folio, yeah. So I don't have to do that. So going back to the lecture. So if you know how to also Google search, Mukundan, M-U-K-U-N-D-A-N, specifically in his paper 1998, he talked about this. Why include or why introduce ELRP? Yeah, so he talked about this. So you can read that just to engage more, you can understand better, yeah. So the program itself, the ELRP, involved the provision of more than 200 graded literary titles. So banyak, they introduced a lot of titles so that they can engage these secondary students, these higher level primary students to the habits of reading, yeah. So this, however, was not a successful project, a successful program, yeah. So half of the book were not fully utilized, yeah. So it was a sad day, yeah. So in fact, Mukundan, in the same paper, he said that it was found to be ineffective, tak berkesan, yeah. So sad as it is, but they did not stop there. They tried another program to replace ELRP. They initiated what we call as the class reader program. Pernah tak? Or are you guys in that program? You guys dulu masa primary tahun berapa? Tak ingat. Kena dekat atas.
2007.
1987. Oh, so did you get to test the class reader? Ada tak class reader? So you are in the second half of the initiative. So class reader program or CRP. Siapa sini yang remember CRP? Sila angkat tangan. Ingat tak CRP?
Something like Nilam.
Nilam, maybe that's for Bahasa. I'm not familiar with the Bahasa program. They were talking about the English. I don't know, Nilam. I'm not sure. I've never heard of the Nilam thing.
But the Nila also has in
Yeah,
English.
Nilam also
Ah.
include English.
Okay, all right. So do you remember the
Yeah.
titles? Do you remember some of the titles?
What title?
The title of the book. The title. What title? We're talking about.
Oh.
We're talking about class reader program. Do you remember the title of the books that was assigned to you? Ingat tak? Ada tak Black Beauty?
Black Beauty.
Oh, literature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
You are in this class. It's the teacher on literature. Oh, literature.
Boscombe Valley, Boscombe Valley.
Form 3. Black Beauty, right?
Let
Boscombe
me
Valley.
see.
Lagi? So if you don't remember, so nampaknya masih tak berjaya jugalah. It didn't leave you a very effective impact. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna put on my headphone. I don't think I can hear you. Some of you guys are whispering, macam we are in bed or something. Okay. So anyway, I'm just going to read from the slides. The program involved, what is this classroom program? Yeah, so that you know better. So the program involved the provision of simplified and graded readers. Now, why does it say simplified? So do you know that the Black Beauty is a very very thick book? Yeah. So how the ministry is helping students to engage in reading is they have turned it into abridged versions. Simplified version. The story is not as extensive as the original. Yeah. So if let's say, for example, kalau Mansfield Park is a thick book. It's over, sorry, berdebu. It's over 400 plus the pages, 400 plus pages. But they have turned it into something simple, right? So, so again, just like the first program, there's about 130 titles given to each schools, yeah, to not to each school, to schools, yeah. So okay, so 19% of the titles are written by foreign authors. So the just like ELRP, CRP class reader program is made up of majority from English titles, yeah, instead of local titles. What do I mean by local titles? Are books that are written by in English but by local writers, yeah. So so how did they run the program? In certain schools would the classes would take up the file and have it provided to students in a rotational basis. Some of it are kept in library. I don't know which one you had experience. How did you come about undergoing the classroom reader? How did you use the books? How did you get access to the books? Do you remember?
SPBT.
SPBT, can you explain what's SPBT?
It was given by the school according to the borrowing program.
Okay, so was it done, do you have to go to the library, or does the teacher brings the book to the class, and you know, how was it? Can you explain further?
We need to apply for the borrowing program at the schools, so the teachers will give the book to each and every one of them.
Okay, all right, SPBT. Okay, so this is exactly the third point that I was talking about. Yeah, so the borrowing system, instead of asking students to buy, instead of you know, on a voluntary way, you know, so it was almost like a wajib elective for the students. They have to do it, you know. So it doesn't matter whether you do it rigorously or in a slow pace. So some students might read more than 3 books in a week, or 3 books in a month. So it's up to the students, correct? Yeah, right.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. So when we talk about the class reader program, teachers were provided with the teaching files. They've got to maintain the teaching files where they select activities to be conducted in the class. So based on whatever that is read, they're going to do activities. Yeah. So remember, you are going to take up that hat. You're going to be. Some of you might pursue that direction. You might become English teachers. So you have to learn from what has been done in the past. Yeah. So teachers initially use class readers program by selecting activities. So, oh yeah, by the way, I also need to talk to you about the assessment, how this course is going to be assessed. Besides understanding the history of the teaching of literature as part of the English classroom, English as second language activity. So you also later would have to compile a list of activities and later show me as a portfolio. So you might so the class, in this class, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you. You might come across an interesting activity with relevance of teaching of literature, and later you will compile those activities. Yeah, so you'd have to come up with your lesson plan. You would have to think of an activity as part of the lesson plan. So, and in the end of the semester, you would have a list of activities to which you are going to be graded based on that portfolio. Yeah, so I think it should be everyone's interest. It's everyone's interest that you need to think of, hey, how am I going to engage my students on this in order to inculcate reading habits. What are the things can I do with the text? So along the way, we'll also be talking about text selection or text adaptation. So you might have a text, you might want to take parts of the text, and in order to gauge reading, your main task is to gauge reading, to create sensitivity over human values, as what we talked earlier. So in order to do that, how are you going to gauge students? How are you going to get them to participate? How are you going to get them to think? How are you going to get them to respond to you? Because like what I've been doing in the past, how long have we been talking? I don't know. It's been more than, I think, an hour, I think, or maybe 40 minutes at least. Yeah. So I did ask you a lot of questions, right? I asked you to think. I asked you over your past. So when you recall your history at school, so I'm engaging with you. So here are the things that you can do with your students. So it's not just about slapping down the text and asking them to read, but also to make them respond in relevance of the text. Make them think about the text, make them think about the people who are in the text characters, or the context of the context of the text. For example, if the story or the short story is about American people, Americans. So what's the culture like for the Americans? And what specific context of the Americans? I mean, are we talking about the 21st century Americans? Are we talking about the 18th century? So these sort of things would actually make them respond to you. So again, of course, they would have to read first. So that's the first thing to do. How are you going to get them to read? So there could be an activity in order to get them to start reading. So you'd have the pre-reading activities, and of course, mid-reading activities and post-reading activities. So engaging on those three processes would get them to respond better. Yeah, love your head, the guy who's sitting in the middle of the class. Are you okay? Kepala gatal? Yeah, and there's a saying. It's actually the Western tradition. Once you're in an assembly of many, yeah, when you assemble, take off your hat. Yeah, take off your hat. Okay. Okay. Wah, cool. Okay, put on your hat. All right, put on your hat. I understand now why. Belum lagi, baru start seminggu dah rambut dah macam tu. Where you exactly? Are you from Kelantan, Terengganu? Where? Are you from KL? Can I hear your voice?
I'm from Malacca.
Melaka. Oh, I'm actually stuck in Negeri Sembilan. I lari daripada PKPB to take care of my old parents. So I'm in Negeri Sembilan. So hi neighbor. All right, okay. So those things you can incorporate in your class, okay? So that's engaging with the students, all right? So, right, what else? So instead of, we're talking about class reader program. So instead of allowing class reader program to have the same fate as ELRP, by the way, what does ELRP stand for? I've talked this earlier.
English language reader program.
Okay, okay, just checking. See whether you're sleeping or whatever. Kadang-kadang you might show your face, but you're zombified. You're you're zombies. You're just staring the screen, watching what the heck Madam has at the back there. You know, is she in her room? Yes, I'm in my room. I'm with my kids in my room. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so in order to avoid the same fate as ELRP, what the ministry did was they issued a circular. This is sometime on the 18th of February 1989 that required the schools to allocate 1 out of 5 given English hours in school timetable for conducting CRP. So at present, do you know how many hours are needed to teach English? Sekarang ni tahu tak how many hours are needed to teach English? Pernah find out tak? Have you read the circular from ministry? How many hours are needed to teach English? Oh yo, tak sedang duduk. Okay, yeah. How many hours? How many hours are needed to teach English at present? Terus hilang. Ada yang terus hilang. Ha. How many hours?
120.
Wow, 120 in a month? Wow, why is that? It's too subjective. 130 hours in a what? In a year?
Six hours a week.
6 hours a week. Okay. The last time I read, I think it was 3.5. 3.5 present at 3.5. Tak apa, we do our homework. You go and check. You go and check. How many hours are needed to teach English at schools these days? Yeah. The last time I checked, it was 3.5. Yeah. So in 1989, so 1 out of 5 hours, yeah, one out of 5, 1/5 need to be allocated for CRP, yeah, class reader program. So maksudnya, if let's say there's about let's say there's 3 hours, so 1 out of 5 would be about 20 minutes, yeah, 30 minutes. I think 30 pun banyak, yeah, right? So that's how rigorous the ministry was about encouraging reading. Yeah, they would actually they were aiming at creating a reading society, a knowledgeable society, a more empathetic society, a society that learns from their reading. Yeah, so this was the beginning of making literature compulsory. Yeah, so this was the beginning in 1989. So other than inculcating reading habits, other than other than making them aware of a world outside their own, yeah. So reading would actually, do you know that through reading you don't have to leave Malaysia, yeah? You get to understand other people's culture by reading, yeah. So I've been asked, why do I write? You know, I love to write instead of speaking. Yeah, dek. Nak air? Okay. Why do I like to write instead of writing? Duduk, kena duduk dulu. You have to sit. Duduk. Okay. Okay. Alright. Welcome. Okay. So why do I write better than speaking? So as I write, you know, it's as if I'm writing as another person. Not too loud. Tahan. Tahan, please. Slow, slow. Okay. It's as if that it's not a Malaysian writing. So the thing is that I emulate, I copy other people's writing style. So that can also be done through reading. So when you read, you get to understand another person's culture, and so you are able to visualize. Reading can actually make you imagine things. Agree? Has this ever happened to you? When you read, it's as if that you can see a television on your head.
Yes,
As if,
Yes.
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 I agree.
and
Yes.
okay. Case in point, anyone has read The Twilight? Pernah baca Twilight?
Never
Edward?
never read it, but
No.
I have watched it.
Only watch? Lagi rugi.
No.
So those who have read,
They seem like
when you
pricey.
when you read Twilight, and then later when you watch the movie, has any of you said that, this is not the Edward that I imagined? Pernah tak?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Yes.
Or let's say you baca
Oh,
ombak rindu ke
I
whatever lah.
I read something
You
similar,
agree?
which
Yeah.
is
Ah.
in Awang Musdi novel.
Rusdi?
Awang Musdi novel, yes.
Okay. The
Tomlero,
title?
Tombero.
Tombero.
So
Yeah.
who's the name of the character?
Awang Musdi.
Okay. What's the name of the character?
Tomlero. I always forgot the name. Tomlero.
Okay. So the thing is that,
Tombero.
yeah, okay. The point is, when you read, you have a picture of that character, right? You imagine them to look like someone, or they behave something. But when the movie comes out, you say, "Alamak, what is this? Why Aaron Aziz? Why for
Yes,
Ombak Rindu?
yes.
Or why macam what's the name of the Christensen whatever? Kenapa? Why such a bad choice? That's the power of imagination. Books can make you imagine. So you don't have to leave your comfort zone. You don't have to leave Malaysia, or you don't even have to leave your room. I know a friend who reads without leaving the room for days. Just simply they're so caught up with the book, So this is what we envision our students to widen their general knowledge, to see that there is a culture outside their country, a culture other than Malaysia. You see? So tu yang kalau I was teaching in Terengganu, for 2 years and a half. I was teaching there. I was with UNISA for a while. So when I visited schools, and we did an activity, we did a community service. I tanya lah students tu, are you familiar with one of the festivals lah, from Sarawak, from Sabah, gawai? Tak pernah, tak tahu. So that's one indication that their culture is just within their immediate surrounding. They're only informed of the Malay culture, Sebab the thing is, in Terengganu, there are not many Chinese. There are not many Indian as well. So they are mostly Malays. I'm so sorry if there's any Terengganu people here, any Terengganu night. Yeah, so I can see that. I'm so sorry to say that. Yeah, so they're limited. So we don't want that. We want our younger readers, our younger students to be able to talk about, I know where England is. Unlike the Americans where's Malaysia? They don't know where Malaysia is. They don't know, some of them don't even know where is it. Malaysia is in Singapore. They associate it with our neighbors instead of us, So it's a sad day lah, because their general, this is what we call as general knowledge. It's rather limited. We don't want that. We want our younger Malaysians to be well-read, to know that there's a world that's waiting for them to discover, to explore. Yeah, right. So, and besides these two objectives, another objective, to expose them of reading materials. Yeah, because not only like what I said just now, not only you get to understand other people's culture, you also get to know how other people are writing their stories. Yeah, so kalau let's say we create at present create a Malaysian big book, a Malaysian novel or something, I'm sure what I'm going to see is all the WeChat language, AQ, or apa? What else? Ni. Apa lagi? Come on, give me good short forms. I will always gelak kalau I tengok TikTok.
Tu aku.
KO for core.
Apa lagi?
Osku.
IQ.
Saya, SY.
Saya, yes, saya. Oh, apa lagi? I tak sempat nak, I refuse to read these languages. I takut I terikut. Apa dia?
NTKY.
NTKY, what's that?
Nice to know you.
That's SMS language. Okay. The WeChat language. Oh my God. Tapi the thing is that TikTok is very addictive. You know, they have that power. You kena, sebelum tidur pun you kena tengok TikTok. I don't I'm getting that. But the thing is that when I watch TikTok, I get so annoyed with all this WeChat trash language. It's like, oh God, so sad. Anyway, coming back. So we want them to be interested with the real reading materials instead of TikTok or the WeChat or the what? Apa lagi? I remember the B thing, B application. Apa entah? B. The B is B something.
B-Talk.
B-Talk. Oh my God, you know. Okay, so we're gonna move that. So I'm envisioning of a reader Malaysia lah, yeah, of a reading Malaysia. So all these aims are important in order to help them improve their proficiency. You know, it's not just about speaking in Malay anymore. It's about speaking, reading, writing in English, making them more powerful. Because believe it or not, we have a story to tell to others. You know, I'm sure you can tell a story about your village, about your surrounding, how you live. You know, I'm sure you've got a story to share to the rest of the world on how to, you know, how to keep your house clean, for example, or keeping things in order. You know, it's the Malaysian way. So again, to write, in order to write, you have to read first. So where are you gonna, otherwise you don't have the, what do you call it, modal. Where are you gonna get the ideas? Where are you gonna get the inspiration? What's your muse? Kalau macam, if you, anyone here into painting? Anyone loves to paint? No? No painting? Drawing? Doodling?
Me.
So, all right. So where do you get your inspiration? So your inspiration would be someone else who has doodled,
Oh,
can?
yes.
Someone who has drawn. So the same thing apply with writing. So before you can write your stories, dear students, you have to read. So this is a thing that you have to encourage our younger students. For you to tell your stories, you must have a model. Who's your model? Yeah, right? So these are the things that we hope to achieve lah through class reader program. Yeah. So sadly enough, despite of its noble intention, it also turned the same way as, guess what, ELRP. Sama je. Right? So we still at that same situation. We are not getting the right response. It's a failure. Yeah. However, it remained compulsory. It is a compulsory program, despite that it didn't work. Yeah. So why didn't it work? Some of the reasons given was books selected, the titles selected were beyond students' capacity. The language might be too high. It was the language might be too difficult to understand for a standard 4, for a standard 5, form 1, form 2, form 3. So that brings us to the question of text selection. Are we selecting the right text for the students? So again, another question. Are all the titles suitable for a Malaysian student? Sometimes, because the thing is that most of the titles are from the English reading section, as in it is written by a different writer, an English writer, not a Malaysian writer. So despite that it is in English, it's written based on another person's context. Yeah, so it's very difficult for students, Malaysian students, to understand the context. Right? So have you ever tried watching, okay, I'm sure you are familiar with Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Okay, someone is tampering with my video. I don't know what's going on. Dia duk zoom, keluar zoom, I don't know. Somebody's kacauing my set. Aduh. Anyway, so do you know that Mr. Bean also acted in a sitcom, in a comedy sitcom? Anyone knows about that? Can you name me the title?
In
The one
Johnny English.
Ah,
Johnny
that's a
English.
movie. No. I'm talking
Oh.
about sitcom. He has this like an episode. If you are familiar with The Friends, so he has something like that too. He has a sitcom. Do you know? We're talking about Mr. Bean. The name of the sitcom is Blackadder. Have you heard of that before? So you can actually hear him in this very posh upper English, sort of upper T language, you see, very high sophisticated language. Now the thing is that he's much more known for his character as a Mr. Bean instead of that Blackadder, though despite that both of it are comedies, simply because of the choice of English. We Malaysians are more familiar to Mr. Bean instead of Blackadder. So in Blackadder, the language is rather laras tinggi, high level of English. So that's why it's not famous among Malaysians. But he's equally known also for Blackadder. Cuma the thing, that's the same thing. Can you imagine a book that is written in a language which is not so familiar by Standard 4, Standard 5, Form 1, Form 2? Just imagine such language to be read and to be understood by a primary student. So that's why they become disengaged. Dia tak minat. They become demotivated. So this is one of the reasons. Text selection. Wrong text selection, salah bagi text. The way of selecting text tu tak betul. So that was one of the reasons. Another reason is, of course, understanding foreign culture. Do you know that we have a different set of culture than other people from other sets of the world? Can we have those from China? I know a few who are from China. Can you identify yourself? Ziyi, where are you, Ziyi? Are you here?
Hi, I'm here.
Show me your face. Where
My
are you?
camera doesn't work.
Oh, why? Yes, not you. What happened? Your camera doesn't work?
Yeah,
Where
my
you?
laptop's camera.
You have to get a camera then. Huh? Apa? Hala? Nak gula? No, finish. Enough. Dah cukup satu. So, get a camera please, yeah? So that would actually, later you need for your group discussion. So get a camera soon. Right? Okay. So, Z, how do you find Malaysian culture? Is it similar to China?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So what's different?
I think the traditional parts, like the how do I say that? The Confucius culture, you know that?
The culture. Okay. So you're a Buddhist, I assume?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you are not? So can we know what religion are you?
I don't have any religion.
Okay. It's okay. So that's why you have a problem, right? You can't quite understand the Malay culture. You're talking about the Malay culture, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Z. Now that's a China student talking about culture. In fact, a cross culture between Malaysian Chinese and Malaysian Malay pun happens. So does the Indian Malaysian. Agree? Because we have different sets of culture. Yeah. So understanding each culture itself is a problem. Can you imagine trying to understand a cross culture beyond the nation? So that's another reason why it's a failure. All right. Okay. Anyway, welcome Ziyi. You have not contacted me. You're my mentee. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. All right. You need to talk to me later. Okay. Even though as our CRP, even though class reader program was a compulsory program, it was not examinable. Yeah. In most classroom, books were discarded and the examination format, the reading materials, and the comprehension questions were not taken into such seriousness. Yeah, so failure. It's somehow the three didn't quite synergize. Yeah, so again, the same fate as ELRP. But in 1999, what MOE did was they announced that literature component as compulsory and examinable. Before then, between 1989 to 1998 at least, it was compulsory, yes, but it was not examinable. Until in 1999, it was both compulsory to be done, compulsory to be executed, but also it is now examinable. So part of the SPM paper, you would now see there's paper 1, paper 2. Agree? Did you guys go through that process, that period? Ada kan?
Yes.
So it is after 1999, yeah, that it is now both compulsory and examinable, which it was properly implemented in 2000. They proposed it in 99, but had it implemented in 2000. So you guys had your, finished your school in 2007. So I'm sure you have undergone this change, correct? You had to answer in SPM a section for literature and a section for proficiency, correct? Yeah. All right. So that was thought to be a move, yeah. But at present, what do you think? When they turn down the examinable format, dah tak ada dah. That's the latest. So it's no longer examinable at present.
Yes, don't have already, Doctor.
Betul. They taken it out. So anyway, going back to 2000, a major obstacle of the program highlighted and cited by Cortes opposed to the program was that students were low proficiency. You know, they were in general, students still have problems with reading. So that is our kata everlasting dilemma, a low literacy rate among Malaysians. Yeah. So do you have anything to say about that? Now you can include that in your blog. Yeah. So part 1, penakkulan over why you're choosing TESOL program, and the other half is what you think about the low rate of literacy among Malaysians. Tell me what you think about it. I like to listen. Okay. Of course, these problems mainly come from the rural parts, because like what I said, English is still a problem in the more underprivileged states of the country. Yeah, even in Terengganu pun, despite that we are in Kuala Terengganu pun, I can still see the problem is glaring. Yeah, okay. So if they retain that second criteria, the examinable criteria, as part of the SPM format, I'm sure it's going to be a big problem. Yeah, especially for the more rural parts of Malaysia, right? So sad it is. I'm sure you share my feelings when I say that it is a sad day for Malaysia if we keep having this problem in the near future. Malaysians are not reading enough. They have problems with reading. So let's do something about that, shall we? Yeah. All right. So, okay. Kenapa? Why? Okay, come. Last. This is the last one. Okay? No more. All right. Sekejap come. Yeah, I know it's not healthy, but sometimes it's just their way of reward lah, sort of. Yeah, so sorry about this. Nah, satu, and this is the last one. Tak ada, no more. All right, so I like you to also find out, beside the 2 things that I've assigned you to, can you find out what are the required texts between 1999 and 2000? Okay, there's 2 prescribed reading lists. Yeah, I like you to understand the list required for the students. between 99 up to 2000. Yeah, that's immediately after the reinforcement of remember, hold on. Okay. All right. Remember that the literature component is now compulsory and examinable between after 2000. Okay, after 2000 it is compulsory and examinable. So I like you to find out what are the required texts during that stage. Okay, I'll hint you. The pencil is one of them. There's a list of them. There's short stories, there's poems, there's novel. So I like you to find out instead of me giving it. Right, so I will stop here because as I promised, I'm going to stop at 12. And I think you have something to do between now until 1. Okay, so I hope you have access to the UKM folio. Good luck. All right, so thank you very much, everyone. I'll try and sort out the attendance. Yalah. Otherwise, tak apalah, you masuk dalam, nantilah I will let you know how you're going to do this. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. You can get down to your blogging as soon as possible. Do you have a question? Someone put up their hand, something. Yeah.
How are we going to submit this?
The blog.
Yes, the blog.
The blog is in UKM folio. Ada. Cuba tengok kat UKM folio dekat our course. Dekat course tu ada students blogging. Kalau you buka UKM folio, are you there? Alright, go to our course. Sabar. Okay, where are you? Okay, pengajaran.
Under participants.
Yes, it is. Block. Under participant, course block. Okay, kat situ lah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? I think you should immediately engage, yeah? Yeah?
Does that mean we answer all the question you gave just now there? Okay.
3. Okay. Why choose TESOL? Penaklukkan. Second, apa tadi? The list of required text. And the third one, what do you think about the low literacy? 3 things. Okay, you have an hour. Go fry your head. Okay.
Doctor, how about the list of Malaysian core values?
Core values. Lupa 4. Okay, cepat. You can do this. Okay. Yes. Thank you.
And also the race awareness.
The reason.
There is a need.
Wow, banyaknya. Okay, you guys are definitely going to have a tough time in 1 hour. Carry on. I'll proceed lah until 2 o'clock. You can submit at 2 o'clock, yeah?
So 5 questions, right, doctor? No minimum words, right?
No minimum words? What do you mean? No. Tak kisah. Point form pun tak apa. Yeah. Someone is calling me. Someone is calling me. Ada orang call ke? Natasha. Yes, Natasha. What do you need to ask? Natasha. Tanyalah. Where are you?
I already asked just now.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, cepatlah. Okay, bye-bye. I'll dismiss you. Goodbye.
Thank you, doctor. Bye.
All right. So the blog is your attendance, Thanks.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor. All right. Shoo. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, doctor.
See you next week.
Thank you.
Doctor.
Bye. Salam.
Thank you, doctor.